Hi, so this is one of the fundamental principles of being Mont Blanc, which is giving people the best 5 minutes, showing up, which you did, showing up, backing yourself, and you never know who's watching. So what you're going to see in the next few minutes is a clip from the conference and how to really integrate that into a best 5 minute plan, so it's not something that you're just hoping that's going to happen. It's by design.
Okay, so here's how we engage, and it's a plan. So write this down. Number 1, have I given my best 5 minutes to everybody? Number 2, have I shown up? Number 3, have I backed myself? And number 4, do I realize I don't know who's watching me? Now, if I flick back to engage, I'll tell you now, your world at the golf club and your world outside of the golf club will transform when you think like brushing your teeth. Am I doing that every day? Am I giving people the best 5 minutes? Am I showing up? And by the way, Mark McCormack, Arnold Palmer's agent, Mark McCormack said, when you show up, good things happen. If you don't show up, good things don't happen. You guys have shown up, but what happens is you get an invitation somewhere and you think, oh no, I'm not going to go. And yet, that's the very place where you bump into somebody. Back yourself. Most don't back themselves, either on a golf course or off a golf course. And when I say you never know who's watching you, you turn up. Somebody asked me the other day, how do you get Gareth Bale, Joe Hart, Wimbledon Tennis Club as a client? So draw yourself a box, because I'm going to come back to it. We're changing into 5th gear now. So this is what I call the best 5 minute plan. This is your partnership, alliance, and networking plan. I'm going to send you, I'll send you this anyway, but what's important is that people say, well, I've got challenge with the secretary, stakeholders. How do I create the time to get in touch with people? Being Mont Blanc is a full-time activity. And you have to have a plan. You can't just hope that things are going to happen. So you've got people in your life who have low interest or high interest in what you're doing. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yeah. You also have people in your life who have low influence or high influence in your life. So the high influence, as an example, a few years ago I had a PA, and she just joined me. So she had high interest in what I was doing. But I made an assumption, which was definitely wrong. I made an assumption that she had low influence. So I had her in that far box. Does this make sense, yes or no? Yep. So Alison was in that far box. Within 7 days of her starting work, she had me in front of Andy Murray's physiotherapist. Where did I put her name? Where did I put her name after that? Top right. She had high interest, high influence. There are people in your world, guys, and this is how you make it a plan. You populate names in there. Your wife, where would your wife be? Where would your brother-in-law be? Where would the accountant be. You'd put people in that box. Now, what's really important is that you start to move those people around. How do you move those people around? Write this down. Here are call, coffee, lunch, dinner, leisure. My flip chart's going to go. So, Andy, what have you done to my flip chart? Hey, yep, got it. So, here's your plan. People say, can't be that easy. Most of the problems with working with people, and somebody said footfall, turnover, better clients, relationships with your stakeholder. Put your hand up if you've had a challenge with the golf club management in the past 5 years. Put a hand up if you've had a challenge with your staff, the people that work with you in the past 5 years. Put your hand up if you've had a challenge outside of your professional life with a human being in the past 5 years. So what does it come down to? What do you think? Hmm. 100 people, and there's no examples of what you think it comes down to. I wonder whether that's how we play golf in here. See, that's the challenge. Afraid of saying the wrong thing. Yeah? Is that fair? Is that what you were thinking? Yeah, afraid of saying the wrong thing? Yeah? Afraid of saying the wrong thing. Yeah, but I'm going back to why there's 100 people in here and nobody's shouted it out. Because we're afraid of getting it wrong. This game is actually set up for getting it wrong. Set up for failing. And yet, afraid of failing, afraid of missing it right, afraid of missing it left, afraid of leaving it short. Yes or no? Afraid of the white posts. If you're afraid of missing, you're not ready for scoring. Write that down. That's good shit, Dan. If you're afraid of missing, you're not ready for scoring. And I'm not talking about on the golf course. I'm talking about, are we afraid of missing outside of the golf course? Is this useful, by the way? Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. It's communication. It's engaging. But how do you engage the people? I'm not just talking about the people you've had challenges with. I'm talking about, like, even whether it's your mother or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. I'm talking about how do you engage them? You need a plan. Because that's where you say, I haven't got time. Because there's no plan. Yes or no? Yet, you'll plan your golf trip with the guys. You'll plan your day off. So here's a tool. I use this in, with business. I came up with this and adapted it for executives in the corporate world who are actually, from their perspective, they have to manage the teams that they're managing. Here's the questioning. Who do I need to call, have coffee with, have lunch with, have dinner with, have leisure with? And I'm talking about leisure, I'm talking about, put your hand up if you've had a top client in the past year, in the past 12 months, your best client, you have taken them for dinner for no reason at all. Put your hand up if you've done that. And when I've said this in the past, I've had people, and golf pros, by the way, who've rung me and said, oh my God, you wouldn't believe the relationship just went to a different level. What are you doing next month? Why? I'm taking you to dinner. That seems alien to a lot of you, but I'm saying now, if you want your clients to be raving about you, then where are you investing your time? It might be your staff. When was the last time you went and had a coffee with a member of staff? You just said, let's go, come on, we're going to Starbucks, we're going to Costa. Come on, let's go and have half an hour. Lunch. And then you're thinking, I'm not paying for lunch. Then that's because you're thinking you've got to spend money instead of invest money. When you see Ray walk into the shop, you don't know Ray. Every golf club has got a Ray that comes into the golf club. The guy that walks in and the team behind the counter go, no, you serve him. No, you get him. Put your hands up if you've got a Ray in your golf club. Let me see. Let me see. Just keep your hands up there. Keep your hands up there. Have a look around the room. Have a look around the room and ask yourself, if you've got a Ray in your golf club, do you have staff or have you gone, no, you get him? And then wonder why we have some challenges in the industry. So Ray walks in and he wants to tell you about every damn shot he's hit on Saturday. Those are laughs of recognition. And he comes in and but Ray, you don't know who Ray knows. You don't know that his wife or his uncle or his mate wants to start to play golf. He's got a daughter who wants to play. He's got a future son that wants to play. He's got a mate who he wants to bring to. You don't know. But the problem is we choose who we're going to be Mont Blanc with. The guy with the Bentley. The guy who's going to buy the set of clubs from you. And what happens is we turn it on. Yes or no? Appreciate the honesty. But if you're turning it on, it means that you are doing. And yet, Ray leads to all sorts of things. You can't choose, guys, who you give your best 5 minutes to. I work with a guy, he's 19, 20 now. He's called Luke, plays for Blackpool FC. Any Blackpool FC there? We, yeah? I don't even know I've worked with him for like 3 years, still don't even know his second name. He's just Luke Blackpool on my phone, yeah? Luke Hyam. See, write that down. See, thank you for that. Point in taking here as well, guys, and we're going to get to this in a second. Point in taking. You never know who's watching. There is my Ray example. Because I don't know who she knows. There's Ray.